Well, before starting showing you the demonstration, I would like first to explain a couple of attack idea. So it's better to understand the attack first before using the tools. And let me repeat two very important points. Number one, you should never try that on a real victim or real target unless you have an approval. So do not learn such tools and go online and start trying to crash servers and crash website. This can cause you trouble and it's not legal. Number two, that if you are doing a penetration testing for a customer, the denial of service requests a separate approval. So as I told you, do not do that by yourself without telling the customer that you're going to do a denial of service. And as I explained in a previous video, this need to have a separate approval on a separate document because a lot of business cannot afford to have any kind of downtime. Now let's talk a little bit about the different technique of attacks that we're going to use. First attack that we will be using is ping of death. Actually, this will be the second attack. Ping of death is just to manipulate the ping packet. And this was used in old days. I mean, now you cannot crash a computer or definitely a server or something like that using a ping of death. And by default, the firewall usually now are blocking the ICMP, so it blocks the ping command. But anyway, we're going to take that as a proof of concept. So ping of death is a way of sending a packet that has been manipulated. Let me explain. Usually ping send 4 packet that has a small size, 32-bit, to the destination. And if the destination has the protocol ICMP up and running, which is by default up and running, used to be, it has to reply back with the same amount of packet and the same size. So the 4 packets that you will be sending, you're going to receive 4. What the ping of this is doing, that it instead of sending 4, it sends continuously packet. It adds a switch that will send continuously packet. And instead of sending a 32-byte packet, it will increase the size of the packet, so it will be 65,000, which is the maximum allowed size. So now the destination needs to reply back to you with the same amount and the same size. And if you do that from 2, 3, 4 machine, now the destination needs to reply on the 3 machine with the same amount of packet and the same size. And eventually this will crash the machine. But as I told you, this is kind of old attack. There is some sophisticated attacks that we're going to try in this section. But just a proof of concept. So the first attack, it's ping of this. It's exactly like if you are sitting somewhere with some people that talk too fast, talk to you, and you have to reply back with the same speed and the same amount on the same time. Definitely you reach a point where you're going to get lost. So it's kind of the same idea. The second kind of attack is the same float attack. And actually this is the most effective one till now. But how effective? I mean, you cannot crash something like Google or like Yahoo using same float attack. You know, they have a very huge and powerful infrastructure, but regular website and regular server can be crashed by that easily. What is a same float attack? It's very important to understand that. Now, to be able to understand the same float attack, we need to understand how the initiation is done between 2 different machines. I mean, if you try to connect to a website, to a news website, how the initiation is going. Are you going just to send a request to the page and the server will send you the page? No, it's not going this way. What you usually do, you send first a packet called send. So it starts by sending a send packet to the server. So you just tell the server that I need to communicate with you. Then the server will reply back to you by something called send ACK. I or I received your send, and then you're gonna send a third packet called the AAC packet, and then the initiation and the exchange of data start. And they usually give an example like a phone call. When you are calling someone and he pick up the phone, you will not start talking right away. You're gonna say hello. This is like informing that you are on the line, and then he's gonna say hello. That means that I'm hearing you. Please proceed. And then you can say, may I speak to? And then you can start the conversation. It's the same idea. So some initiation start at the beginning. Now, what is the send flow is doing? It will send to the server or the website or the victim machine a send packet. Now, what the victim will be replying back, it will reply back with the send AAC, and it will wait for the AAC to resume the connection. The victim will not send an AAC, but it will send another send. So he kept one connection open and he's opening another one. So he send the send, and the victim will reply back with send AAC, and is waiting for the AAC to establish the connection and start exchanging data. But you are not sending the AAC, you keep that pending as well, and you open a third one and a fourth one and a fifth one. You keep doing that until you're gonna reach a stage where the victim will not have any empty session or any empty connection to allow for any other user. So if someone is trying to send a regular user, the server cannot reply back with send AAC because all of them are busy. This is called the send flow attack. It may seem complicated, but it's quite easy, as you're going to see right now. Now, before we start the demonstration, we may take 2 or 3 demonstrations. I just want to point that we need a lot of bandwidth to establish this kind of attack. I mean, you cannot have a limited internet connection and you'll be able to crash a website. Number 2 is that it takes time. You know, it sometimes take like a couple of hours. It takes 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, it takes time, depend on the bandwidth that you have and the setting of the web servers that you are trying to crash or the victims that you are trying to crash. So on the next video, we're going to go through some of the attack and see how they can implement it. Thank you.